an associate professor in nutritional sciences. I came here from the National Cancer Institute, so that's my research focus primarily. But as far as my education, I have a bachelor's from North Dakota State University, a master's from Texas A&M, a PhD from the University of Minnesota, and then a Master of Public Health from Harvard. So in between there, I worked for a short time as a nutrition education specialist for the state of Wyoming, providing nutrition education to pregnant women and their children. The course that I teach is Nutrition 360, and it's got a longer name, but basically it's nutrition education. And this is a course that when I first came here, I started teaching right away in 2000, so it's been like 9 years now, I guess. And together, another person and I, Dr. Claudia Probart, developed some of the activities that we do in the course, because we felt it was important to have technology incorporated into the course and that our students be good at that. And it's something that the American Dietetic Association, which is our, the agency that we answer to, feels it is important for our students as well. So the course is designed to teach the students about nutrition education, about communication, about sharing information with others, and we use the technology as one way of doing that, and we think it's a very important way to reach people today. When I first started teaching Nutrition 360, there were 40 students, and right now, because of our increasing enrollment, we have about 70. They tend to be nutrition majors, primarily nutrition minors. Occasionally I'll let somebody in that's a health major in another field that's interested in taking the course. For example, we had some pre-med students a few semesters that were interested in, and I allowed them into it. They're mostly sophomores and some juniors in the class. I've been teaching Nutrition 360 now for 9 years. Not necessarily every semester, but some years it has been every semester. The video project that we designed for the students was designed to be a public service announcement. It's something that in nutrition education, you see not as often as we'd like, but you do see quite a number of PSAs that are directed at nutrition and health. So we designed the project so that students would have the opportunity to take some of the information that they learned and share that with others through a public service announcement. And really the goal was not so much that they would be developing public service announcements later, but they would have a feel for what was involved, and so that if they worked with somebody else on something, that they would know enough about it to be able to do a good job at that. The requirements for the project are that they work in groups of at least 3, but 3 to 5. Any bigger than that, it gets a little unmanageable for them to meet. And that they work together to develop a public service announcement with a nutrition focus. Occasionally I'll allow them to do something that's nutrition related, like physical activity or alcohol, avoiding alcohol. So they develop the project as a group, they do all the taping, they do all the editing, and then they present it in class as a group on tape or DVD. Sometimes they upload it to the web and play it that way, and that they talk to the class then about how their project worked, what were the challenges, and how did they pull it all together in the end. I have a checklist that I use to grade the projects, and it's things like, is the information accurate, those sort of things, but also creativity and working together as a group. So it's about a 20-point project. I think it comes out to 10 to 15% of their total grade for the course. So it's a big chunk. The original motivation for assigning a video project was to create a different way for them to share nutrition information with others, but for it to be fun also. So everything about this class is really project focused and skill based, and it's about learning how to share information with others more effectively. And I thought this would be a good project that would also be fun for them. No one has really reacted negatively to the project over the years. Sometimes people have challenges when they don't allow themselves enough time and something doesn't work out in the end. But when I first started doing this, my son was maybe 12 or so. And so he was, working with me while I was learning how to do it myself. And I always tell the class that my 12-year-old could do this, so I'm sure you guys can. The memorable videos that I've seen that I remember are the ones that you still remember the message. It's like the PSAs that you remember from when you were a kid, like the egg on cement, that this is your brain on drugs. There have been some videos in class over the years on eating disorders and on not drinking 21 drinks on your 21st birthday that are memorable to me. Those are what I remember off the top of my head without looking through my old copies. I think it's been valuable to them, and I think they've liked it a lot. Often on my evaluations that I get back from class, it's the favorite project of most people, unless they had a horrible, experience for some reason, a group member that didn't pull their weight. The skills that are required to complete the project are organization, that's big, working with others in a group, good communication skills. Creativity helps some, but it's not essential necessarily. I mean, you can do the project without a whole lot of creativity. It helps though. And just time management, because there's a lot of moving pieces to this project, and if you don't think it through and organize yourself and allow enough time, you'll have a bad experience. Assigning this project, I think, enhanced their learning in that everybody's been able to do it. In 9 years, there hasn't been a group that hasn't turned in a project and gotten a grade. So that whole success is good for them. And I think, it sounds overwhelming when they first hear about the project, but over the years, I've taken them to a classroom and shown them pieces of the video editing myself, and they get to try it there. There's computers in the lab where they can try some of the things right away, and they're pretty convinced after they finish that they're going to be able to do it. So, I think it's valuable that what seems to be very difficult isn't that difficult once you have some of the skills that are needed. And there's lots of help on campus now too, and actually it didn't used to be that way. So there's much more help than there was before, and I think that's been good. A lot of my fellow colleagues spend their times in labs chasing rats and that sort of thing. So this is very different, and Dr. Probart and I are very much into nutrition education, and there's some others as well, but some of the very biochemical folks don't get it. But that's okay, because the students really like the class. I've had, really good evaluations over the years, and so I think it's been good.